Welcome to the Gleeful Meeple, a podcast all about board games where strategy meets laughter and chaos reigns supreme. In this episode, we return to the Pantheon to nominate more games for the illustrious honor. We jump ramps, collide, and catch on fire in this week's game of the show, Road Vendetta. And you, the Gleeples, get to play along as the hosts get put in the hot seat with this week's game challenge. Are you ready for the ultimate race of your lives? Get your guns ready and fuel up your chopper because the only rules in this race are that there are no rules. Hey, fellow drivers.
Hi, James. It's Emily coming from a flaming car.
Dwayne is here.
And it's high-speed JK.
This is Jay.
I was so lame.
All right, guys, we're returning to the pool of riddles for this one.
Riddle.
It's a short one, but I think I'm going to give you enough to nail it.
It's flip 7.
Okay, James, JK got it. That's it.
Okay, James.
A humble abode, you wouldn't think twice. Stay long enough, it'll turn more naughty than nice.
Oh.
As friends you arrive, a slumber party it's not. As friends you won't leave. ... I have a number of hands raised at the table right now.
I wanted to steal it
I'm
because I know
very
Emily
upset
knows it.
that Dwayne figured it out before me.
And I looked at Emily to give her a chance to raise her hand, and she didn't. James, I would like to put in my guess.
What is your guess,
Decorum.
Dwayne?
Decorum? Oh,
It is not decorum.
Oh. Well, that was my guess as well.
Well, you eliminated all three of us.
Can you say it again?
Wow.
I'm still in. I didn't say anything.
Okay.
James eliminating all three of us might be some kind of foreshadowing.
Okay, now that we have that out of our heads, do it one more time.
Let's do it again. A humble abode, you wouldn't think twice. Stay long enough, it'll turn more naughty than nice. Dwayne has an idea now. As friends you arrive, a slumber party it's not. As friends you won't leave. ...
Okay, I've really got it this time, James. That first time, ignore that.
Totally
Throw that
faking
out.
it, yeah.
New one is The Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Which edition? I'm just kidding. You got it, Dwayne. Yes, Betrayal, House on the Hill.
That's amazing
That's
that we
good.
all fell for the decorum.
Oh,
Good
absolutely.
decorum
Because that's
crap
what
on yours.
the naughty not nice. Like it
works.
We love getting passive aggressive
Yes.
in decorum.
I would like to propose that Decorum and Betrayal at House on the Hill are actually the same game.
It was hard to not use the word hunt in that riddle anywhere. So, good job, Dwayne.
Thank you very much. Hey guys, you all know what? We don't get to talk about this a lot, and this might be unfair because I don't know that everybody has seen this. We don't do movies a lot because, they're current and that kind of thing. I just have to give a shout out. Who at the table has seen Sinners?
Oh, yes.
I just saw it this last weekend. Yes.
Yes. Okay, James, you have a homework assignment.
Oh, good.
Do you watch horror films?
Not really,
Okay.
but more psychological thrillers I'm more interested in.
Then you would like this.
Yeah, I think you would
You
like
would
it.
like
yeah.
this a lot.
This movie, this is a horror film that has something to say, and it is wonderful. And what I love the most about it, I hate saying that movies have a twist because I think even that is giving a spoiler. There is an unknown to me. I went 2 months with people telling me you have got to see this movie. I did not look up anything about it. I did not see a trailer. I went into the theater, was totally surprised by what happened with that movie, and loved every single minute of it.
Who's the lead actor in that one? It's
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan
That's what I thought.
and Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
Ryan Coogler directed.
He did.
So,
Same director as Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they have a history of working
It's
together.
There's a little bit of
So
Marvel
good.
DNA in that because
Haley Steinfeld's in there
Haley
too.
Steinfeld is in it as well.
As
So you've
well
got Kate
as-
Bishop.
As well as the woman, and I'm sorry, I don't know the actress's name, but she was one of the guards of the TVA
Yes.
in Loki.
Yes. Oh, I forget her name too.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. There's a lot of Marvel stuff
Yeah.
going on, which makes sense given who the director was.
Good movie, and I'm going to try and say this without spoiling anything in front of James.
Be careful.
There was one moment where I was so unbelievably angry at one particular character in the show.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
Wunmi Mosaku. That's the
That's her name?
actress's
Okay,
name.
okay.
Yeah. She played Annie in the movie.
That is a really pretty name.
If I'm pronouncing it correctly, it's probably very pretty either way.
Angry at the character for what the character did, or angry at the character for how the character was
The
written?
decision the character made in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I know exactly what you're
It
talking
was an
about.
emotional stupidity.
Oh, there's probably two scenarios that applies for me. We'll talk later.
I thought the ending, like, did you stick around and watch like post credits?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's good
I-
post credits
so
and
good.
everything.
I was freaking out in the post-credit scene, and my roommate was like, relax, it's fine.
Do you, given what we've said about it, is this something you feel like Emily would sit down and watch with you, or is she going to pass on this one?
No, she would pass.
Okay.
This is not in her wheelhouse.
Okay.
I was about to say, is she a movie person? Okay.
Action movie all day.
She's
Yeah.
so energetic
There's a
that I
lot of
like.
action.
It's bloody, but it's not scary bloody.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Like,
I would agree.
was there a jump scare in the
There's
movie?
got some
Yes.
horror factor.
Yeah.
Emily says there's a jump scare.
Maybe.
The cheapest but yet greatest scare of all time. Like
But you're also asking someone who jumped scared like 6 times in Ghostbusters, so I don't know if my word should be taken
Oh.
as the norm.
Okay.
I listen to a local podcast called The Horror Virgin, and they do a scary scale for every movie they watch. And their one on a scary scale, which is the least scary, is always Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is 1. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is 10.
Because that's what it's.
And yet
Jump
you were
scares
scared.
are not scary for me; they're just surprising.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't know.
All
I don't know if I'd put Texas Chainsaw out of 10.
it's pretty intense. I think there are some.
Intense.
So this has been movie hour.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I do
Movie
want to
minute.
mention, I brought this up last episode, but then I neglected to follow up on it. The wonderful company that is sending me the Merchants Cove Mega Box is Recess Games out of North Olmsted.
Is that recess like what your class in school, or
playground
recess
recess.
like there's a divot in the board?
Either, I think, would be fine.
it's spelled the same way.
Yes.
No, that can't be right.
And I'm not sure if
Yes.
they pronounce it recess or recess.
Oh, they're spelled the same but pronounced differently.
Yes.
I see. You know what's weird? Like resign and
The English
resign.
language?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resign and resign spelled the same way, pronounced differently, opposite meanings.
Oh.
That's wild, right? Oh, English is the worst language.
It's terrible.
Are y'all fans of Nate Bargatze?
Yes.
I am familiar with him. He's a local boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just came out with a new book, and he's been kind of going around promoting it. And I think it's kind of funny. His book is called Big Dumb Eyes, which is a reference to his comedy routine because he kind of has a sort of vacant look on his face all the time. But he said with his accent, his publisher kept saying, "Why are you wanting to call this book Big Demise?"
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
Nice. So, we mentioned something a few episodes back about a Pantheon.
Yeah, we kind of kicked it off with the idea of what is the Mount Rushmore of board games, and then expanded beyond that because we felt 4 was too limiting, and Abraham Lincoln really doesn't have a good board game.
He's on the cover of Furnace, isn't he?
Oh, that's a very good point.
Try again, JK.
Now, if you recall, we decided at a certain point in the episode we were going to break this off into a second episode and talk about the back half of our list.
Yeah.
Which for me was the front half because I went with my 2 least impressive on the front end, and I'm going to talk about the 2 that I'm most impressed with.
Okay,
This
sure.
episode, in the last episode, we covered the following as your nominees for the Pantheon of board gaming. We covered Ultimate Werewolf, Pandemic, Settlers of Catan, Dungeons and Dragons, 7 Wonders Duel, Ticket to Ride, and Wingspan. If you haven't listened to that episode, please press pause, go back and listen to the first half of our list because we're about to complete that list.
That would be episode 29.
There's nothing better than a podcast that comes with extra work.
Hey, I got homework on this episode. So do the listeners. There you go. Fair is fair.
Who would like to move on with their first nominee of the second half of the list?
I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way.
Okay.
I'm going to do it. I'm going
we
to say
gonna-
it. Look, y'all, I don't think we can have this conversation without at least bringing Monopoly up.
Okay.
It is the best-selling board game of all time. I do not have numbers on this, but I would say a large percentage of American households have at least one copy of this game. Some of them have multiple. I've even encountered people who collect Monopoly games, and they have dozens of special editions and city-based Monopoly versions. Is it a great game? No. Is it playable if you play it according to the rules as written? Yes, it can be an enjoyable experience. In my family, we typically play at least once a year, usually around a holiday, and we actually have a special, we log all of our games, but for Monopoly, we actually have a special certificate that we fill out at the end of each session. So yes, I'd like to throw Monopoly on there. I think it's deserving.
If one of my arguments for Wingspan making the list was its cultural impact, because it was really the first, or one of the first craft board games recently to be in the mass market, be in Target, be in all these places. It's hard to argue against Monopoly for the same reason. Monopoly is omnipresent at any board game store, or not any board game store, but any retail store that carries board games. You're going to find some Monopolies there.
Yeah.
And fun fact, they actually just kind of re-released it with a new face to match the modern board gaming aesthetic. So it has a normal size box and expansions.
Whoa.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are the pieces now minis?
That I don't know. I need to look it up. But I think the expansions, some of them are based around the house rules of people that even the publishers, who publishes Monopoly? It's
Parker Brothers?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably Hasbro now, right?
Yes, I think it is Hasbro.
I think everything's Hasbro.
They know all the house rules people have made over the decades of playing this game, and so they've based some of the expansions on that. So they are trying to bring it back and make it more of a modern take on board games. Yeah, I can't argue with. I mean, it's almost like a board game that just gets grandfathered in to the to the Pantheon. I feel like it's just one of those that exists, like you said, in every home, many homes across America, and I can't argue against it, even though don't particularly ever want to play it.
Okay, fair. That was going to be a follow-up question, but Emily, you look like you have something to say, do ya?
I have another board game if we're ready to move on.
Let me just ask this real quick. So, James, are you would never play Monopoly? There's no situation, not barring being offered a unreasonable amount of money. you would just say no. You would pass on being offered to play a game of Monopoly.
Yes, the only reason I'd play it is if in my family, a family member wanted to play it, and I just enjoy playing games with my family.
Yep. Okay, see,
That
I
would
feel
be
the
the
same way.
only-
JK, never play, or could be talked into playing.
It's going to be pretty hard to convince me to play. Same kind of situation. If my in-laws desperately wanted to play a game of Monopoly, first I would try and say, well, hey, if you like Monopoly, how about we try this instead? And if that didn't work and they absolutely insisted, sure, I'll play it with them. But no, as a relaxing, fun event, I'm not playing
You
Monopoly.
are not going to be the one to suggest Monopoly.
Correct.
Is what I'm hearing.
Correct.
Emily?
I would not play Monopoly.
Oh,
There's
wow.
no amount of convincing. Be like, you guys have fun. See you guys in 5 hours.
Have you played it before with the rules as written?
I believe so, but that was also at least 10 years ago.
Oh, I see. See, maybe you should go back and revisit it with your more mature gamer eyes.
I don't find it enjoyable. I just don't. And it's maybe for the podcast I would. Actually, I'll take that
challenge
back.
accepted. All right, so we have beat the Monopoly horse to death. I will pass the baton.
All right, so I'm moving on to my next highest ranking game. Not the one that I think is a shoe-in, but I think this one deserves a spot. And I really wanted to find something that filled the answer to the question, what European-based Euro game would be my choice here?
For Euros?
I think you guys went with Catan. That was kind of like your staple of what a Euro game looks like. For me, it's not Catan because I'm not a huge fan of Catan. I'm going to lean into Castles of Burgundy. That is by far favorite. Yeah, that is my favorite beige Euro board game. Mine doesn't have that board anymore. I've got the nice one. But if you offered me a chance to play any other game or Castles of Burgundy, I am going to play Castles of Burgundy every single time.
Yeah, I thought long and hard about Castles of Burgundy to talk about on this session because I was trying to find a representation of a Euro game, but a Euro game that has had a huge why be on the Pantheon? Yes, it's a great game. Has it done anything particularly special? Does it to stand above the rest, to have impact on the industry? And I don't know. It is absolutely one of my favorite Euro games, but I don't know if it's done anything more special than other great Euro games that would garner a spot in the actual Pantheon. So that would be my only argument against it, is that it's in my top listing of games.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of other great Euro games that are in people's tops that I think could fill that same space.
The other thing I looked at with this too, we've referenced BGG a lot, and looked at their top 20 just to see what big hitters would be in there. And when you look at the top 20, this is one of the older, like longer standing games. So maybe there's nothing that Castles of Burgundy did that really changed the industry or changed gaming, but it's been a consistent model of what a great game could be.
I think I can agree to that. I feel like y'all definitely have more depth when it comes to Euros than I do. I follow the same struggle as James, or it's like great game versus impactful game. But I think I do follow that logic, JK.
I think I need to see more data on this. Honestly,
hard sell.
As I was going through games, Castles of Burgundy didn't even cross my mind. It just does not. It is a great game, but it doesn't. There's nothing about it that really stands out for me that makes me feel like it's a model of board gaming. To be fair, I only have a handful of plays under my belt, and I do know that people who like Castles of Burgundy really, really like Castles of Burgundy, which I think says a lot.
That's probably me.
You and friend of the show Travis, but given how old the game is and the fact that it seems to be a perennial favor, I see where you're coming from. I don't know that I can get behind it, but I appreciate it as a contender.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, when I was thinking about it, I was trying to think of a dry Euro that has more impact, that's more well known, and like Agricola kind of came to mind. Like that is an older Euro game that has had a lot of impact, I think, on designers when it comes to designing Euro games. And that's what made me be hesitant with Castles of Burgundy, is like, I feel like that's had more of an impact on the direction of design in the hobby versus Castles of Burgundy, as great of a design as it is.
So is Agricola your next pick?
It's not. No, it's not, because I still have reservations about that, but yeah, that's why I got some reservations on Castles of Burgundy.
All right.
My next one is going to be a game that I think it would be hard to argue the impact of this game, and that is Magic the Gathering.
Oh wow! Yeah,
James, you just took my number one pick.
Nice.
Off the board. Yep.
I mean, it's the originator of collectible card games. It created that space. I mean, for it to not have a space in the Pantheon would just seem awful. It would seem like a mistake. It would seem like someone forgot to read the rules on what a Pantheon is.
Yeah, hands down. As I said, this was my number one pick, so I'm off the table for the rest of the show here. Thanks, guys. This was a game industry changing game.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about things that have gone mainstream, wow, how can you not say Magic the Gathering? There are entire stores that have propped up strictly to sell Magic the Gathering.
That's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. It actually changed the landscape of some game stores.
Yeah.
Like they went from being board game stores to being card stores that also sold board games.
Yeah. I stopped playing Magic the Gathering at a certain point just because I know my personality. I know how obsessive I am about buying things, and realized I was going to go bankrupt if I continued to play Magic the Gathering. So I've stayed away from that. What I found interesting is I sorted out my collection recently. I haven't played since maybe 2012, 2010, something along that time. And when I looked to find a list of all of the different card symbols so that I could sort them by pack, found a website that had 20 pages worth of breakdown of all the sets and symbols. I went back to page 20 because I've got the older stuff. My collection, even having stopped playing almost 10 years ago, only got through page 16.
Yeah.
There's
Jeez.
15 newer pages of content they've released since then.
I feel like they've really escalated their release schedule since because you and I got out. When the last time I played seriously was about the same time, and since then, because I have a daughter who plays a lot, they're just constantly releasing stuff now. It seems like monthly, maybe not quite that frequently, but this set's coming out, and now we've got.
Final Fantasy,
Lord
of the Rings.
Yeah, that's
people who have never touched Magic before are buying it just because it's Final Fantasy.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who was maybe 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Those cards were great, by the way.
Yes, there's been whole conversations with people that play Magic more about that release schedule being so fast and what it's doing to the game overall. But that besides the point. I mean, Richard Garfield, the designer, hit pure gold when he designed this.
He's had other games too, and his other games are good. They're not awful, but
two of his other collectible card games, which are Vampire: The Eternal Struggle and Netrunner, I think they're both functionally better games than Magic. Magic suffers from a huge drawback in the fact that if you do not draw the lands that you need, you will not be able to play the game to your best ability. His other two games kind of do away with that. They are better designed games. They did not catch on anywhere near to the way Magic did.
Yeah, Android Netrunner was hot for a while, but they stopped now, I think.
That cycle ended a bit ago.
Yeah. But yeah, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, you are correct. That is definitely one that belongs on there.
100%.
Yep, I agree. All right. So I am going to throw it back to about maybe 700 CE, I think is the new acronym, to Mancala.
Oh, you're going back.
Mm-hmm. So I believe it's more of a kind of like early origins of board games. Like they weren't necessarily called board games back then. But it's, I think, one of those like the concept of games have been around for centuries, for many, many, many civilizations. And Mancala is a game that still exists in stores. It still exists in people's childhoods. It's a great 2-player game with some strategy to it. So I think it deserves a spot.
I agree with you that it is a 2-player game.
I was like, I'm getting a lot of skeptical glances.
Well, and here's my thing. I've never played Mancala as a game. I'm aware of the game mechanic because
it's way better than Monopoly.
It does show up in a lot of board games, but I don't necessarily know, other than reaching into a cubby and picking up a bunch of cubes and moving them around. I don't know what you do to win.
Would you say you reach into a recess?
My word.
Or a recess.
A recess. I think it's a mechanism that has been used successfully in modern games. Actually, a recent game I've been really enjoying is Crusaders Thy Will Be Done, which I'm hoping to get you guys to play sometime soon. Uses the Mancala mechanism. I don't know that it inspired...
It inspired a mechanism.
Board games. Yeah.
It inspired that one.
It did inspire the mechanism.
Like the same idea is in 5 Tribes.
Mm-hmm. That is Mancala perfected for me.
Like Wyatt or Terumi.
Yes, very much so.
There you go.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
There's our board game analogies again.
Yeah, I thought about ancient games when it came to this. Like, I've thought about proposing Go.
Yeah.
For this. Go would be the inspiration for most modern abstract strategy games like chess and all of that.
Are Go and Othello the same game?
No.
No Othello.
Similar ideas.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hesitant on that one. I don't know, Emily.
Okay. I put it down.
It's a perfectly cromulent game.
There you go again, using that word cromulent.
Let's go. All right, it's my go. And I did not even think about H's board games because I'm just going to throw Go and chess and playing cards and all that right out the window and go for one of my favorite. We should have done this like the World Wonders. We should have done like the Pantheon of classic board games and the modern. Anywho, we didn't. It's too late to go back now. We already published the first episode.
Scrap this episode. Everybody forget the other episode exists.
It's already done.
We're going to start over.
I'm going to go with one of the first games that I truly fell in love with, hobby gaming, and we talked about it a little bit before the show. It was number 1 on BGG for years, and that is Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is so delightful. the game changes based on every decision that the player makes. Just a quick short rundown. You have rolls. When it's your turn, you pick a roll. Everyone typically gets an action from the roll. You have a base, like if I take the builder, we all get to buy a building. As the person who took the builder, I get a special ability for taking that roll, and for building, I pay one less for the building. So that idea of role selection, but everyone gets to do it, but you get a little bonus for being the one who took the role. It also has a mechanic that has shown up in other games where at the end of the round there will be a number of rolls left over. Those rolls will increase in value by actually putting dollars on them that the other players will get when they take those rolls in the future, which is a mechanic that I really enjoy in games. And there's just this wonderful sense of, oh my gosh, if James takes captain right now, he is going to completely ruin what I am trying to do here. Like, every selection that a player makes just seems very intense and very fun. Puerto Rico is my nomination.
I feel like your passion for Puerto Rico and my passion for Castles of Burgundy, that we're kind of talking about the same thing.
That's what I was afraid of. Because as soon as you started talking about Castles of Burgundy, I was like, I bet you Dwayne's going to bring up Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And I did save that one for last for a reason, because I really, it is just one I say this a lot. It is a game that I will always recommend. We were at a friend's house the other day. Someone happened to see it on a shelf. Do you all want to play Puerto Rico? Absolutely, we will. So
I've honestly never played it. I've only ever heard about it. I've heard that most people really like it. I've also heard, is it Puerto Rico where you can kind of solve the game?
Go ahead.
If you are playing Puerto Rico, you kind of want to be playing Puerto Rico with people at your same experience level. If you've got a bunch of rookies to the game playing it and somebody who's vastly experienced, they're going to win.
Yeah, and isn't it also in that scenario?
They're gonna win.
I don't know if that's true, JK. I honestly, I'm going to go the other route on that. If you're playing with experienced players, I think you fall into the trap where what James was talking about, where it's kind of solved. Like, everyone knows what they should be doing on the turn. Whereas if you play with a variety of skill levels, you might take an action that is totally not the right one to do, and the right one in
quote unquote, right?
And so then
the most optimal one. And now I have to play around what you have done to the board state, changing the dynamics of the game. I am not a Puerto Rico expert by any means. I've got dozens of plays, but not hundreds like I know some people do. And I would love to really talk to people who understand the game inside and out and get their opinion on that.
I think it's a fine nomination. Like you said, JK falls in the similar.
It's my Castle of Burgundy,
right?
Yeah.
So I haven't played it, so I can't speak to it more.
We'll have to fix that at some point, James.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't ignore that it was on BGG's #1 ranked for as long as it was.
It was a long time.
It was like 5 years. I feel like I'm split that like it is just Dwayne's Castles of Burgundy, but just a little bit to it does belong on the Pantheon because of it had such a grip on the community in the early aughts.
Yeah, when did it come out? I'm trying to remember.
Can't remember when it came out, but it got ranked #1 in like 2003.
2000, 2001, 2002.
Okay, so then it became #1 like the next year. So that's one of those that just might have been a hotness, but also for 5 years has some staying power.
It's because there were only 4 games out at the time.
Nah. I can definitely see
Mancala,
it also inspiring
Monopoly.
a lot of designers. All right, I got one more to throw at you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Dominion.
I was wondering if this was going to come up.
Yeah.
Technically, there was one game that used a deck building mechanism before it, which was StarCraft, the board game. But of course, Dominion is the deck building game.
It's kind of the icon for deck builders. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's better deck builders out there now, but they wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Dominion. And there's lots of expansions now to spice up base game anyways.
I think I can agree to that. I feel like that's a game that not can be solved per se, but it's one of my friends has played it so much with all the expansion. It just feels like a thin to win type of strategy. Just thin out your deck as quick as possible.
That's going to depend on what cards are
Yeah.
showing up in the market.
For
though.
sure. For
and
sure.
That's one of the great things about the game is the replayability because of every market setup is going to lead you down different paths.
You can randomize which deck of 10 cards you want to play with.
Yeah, and you can even like kind of supersize it where you're, hey, I really want things that are going to let me do 12 actions a turn, right? You can. I think most players randomize them, or you either do a setup from the book, or you can randomize it. But if you really know what those cards do, you can kind of make your own select market to do some wild things in the game.
I don't disagree at all with the fact that it is a key element in deck building. I mean, it was the one that kind of started the thing. My biggest complaint on Dominion is, boy, is that game ugly.
Oh yeah, it's not a looker. None of the expansions really ever fixed that.
No, they did not.
No, they don't.
No, it knows what it is.
But-
It gets in there and it gets the job done, and it does it well.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to look pretty.
ABC, action by clear. That is stuck in my. I haven't played it in a long time, but that is stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of games that wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Dominion.
Yep.
I do agree to that. I would add it to the Pantheon. Does anyone else have any more?
I am out. Do
That's
you have
all
anything
from me.
else?
Okay. So I wanted to bring up some feedback that we got from the first Pantheon episode. Do you think, did we nominate games that were just fads? Or do you think the games we've nominated actually have some staying power? Because when is a trend just a fad, and when is a trend something that actually impacts our hobby?
From the first episode of the ones that we nominated, I feel like if I had to choose two that were fads, I would say Seven Wonders Duel, and I would say Ultimate Werewolf.
Yeah, I think my argument on Seven Wonders Duel is it's thought of as a fad because of the dual name in the titles. But the reason that I nominated it was because I think it changed the landscape for just 2-player games. Now, a lot of the 2-player games are named Duel, so it's this, duel this, duel that, but there's also a lot of other 2-player games that I don't think would have done as well or would have been released, without that game having been released and being as successful as it was.
Yeah, like chess.
Yeah, like chess.
And keep
Or
in mind,
Mancala.
that is if I had to be like, okay,
Yeah.
these might have been fads. I could make an argument for that, but I think you had a good point with the Seven Wonders Duel kind of starting that trend, and it does show up for a game that's been out for, I'd say, at least 8 years that I know of. I can't think of the exact date. It shows up in it comes into the conversation like, what is the best made for 2-player game? Seven Wonders Duels enters that conversation a lot. So I think it was a valid reason to have it on there.
Because that's how, I feel like I could be swayed, but ultimately I still stand by the decision too. Because I think the fad would be the market space right now is overflowing with 2-player games with duels and duos and all that stuff. But I think Seven Wonders Duel has the staying power, and I think what it's brought in 2-player games that have staying power.
Yeah, I think that the ongoing releases of 2-player only games won't be a fad or a trend. They happen to be named Duel because that's just what a lot of those games are being called right now. But I don't think it's a fad that will pass. It might not be called Duel, but 2-player games will now continue to be released, which I don't think would have been the case without Seven Wonders Duel.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when you look at fads, what fads have we had recently? We've had, card games and trick-taking games. We picked none except for Magic. Roll and write, draft and write, verb and write. There's none of those on here. So we have avoided some of the more recent hot trends in games. I think yes, Duel is a trend. We've seen it all through this year. We're going to see it at Gen Con, or we've seen it at Gen Con, where there's more Duel games coming out. It was the early entry to Duel games and kind of kicked it off, and I think that's where it does get its place in the Pantheon. I don't see that these are trends, especially we've picked a lot of older games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seven Wonders Duel actually isn't just a few years old.
What's our newest one on the list?
Let's pull it up.
Newest one on the list,
Wingspan?
if I had to look at this, is probably Wingspan.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Seven Wonders Duel was 2015.
Okay.
That's 10 years old.
When was Wingspan?
2018, I think we said at one point.
Oh, let me look it up.
And that's not like, I feel
2019.
So that's
Okay.
our most recent.
Do I get points for being within a year?
No.
Emily, you never give me points.
No, that's JK with his spelling games.
Let's not rehash.
That was last episode. All right, so Gleeples, we have a mission for you. Again, let's review the ones we have nominated. That is Wingspan, Ticket to Ride, Seven Wonders Duel, Dungeons & Dragons, Settlers of Catan, Pandemic, Ultimate Werewolf, Monopoly, Castles of Burgundy, Magic the Gathering, Moncala, Puerto Rico, and Dominion. What we would like you to do, choose whatever media you like. You can follow us on Instagram or do this on our Instagram or email us. Let us know which one of those nominees you think deserves most to be in the Pantheon. And on top of that, send us one of your picks that we missed that you think should be there.
Yeah, we want to know.
All right, Gleeples, I have waited for this day for a long time. This episode's game of the show is Thunder Road Vendetta. Thunder Road Vendetta is published by Restoration Games. It has a whole slew of designers, including Dave Chalker, Brett Myers, Noah Cohen, Rob DeVoe, Justin D. Jacobson, Jim Kiefer, and Brian Neff. The artists are Marie Bergeron and Garrett Kaida. It was released in 2023, sort of. That is the Restoration remake that was released in 2023. It plays 2 to 5 people, but it's at its most gleeful at... I'm going to say 3. Is it 3? No, it's at 4. It's at its most gleeful at 4, JK. Hey, JK, will you walk us through Thunder Road Vendetta?
I'm just here for the gasoline. So in Thunder Road Vendetta, you are taking a squadron of cars from point A to point B. That's the game.
Where is point B at, JK?
You don't really know at the start of the game. It's just kind of somewhere off the end of the track. This game is chaos in a box. It is a dice rolling game where you're going to use those dice to fuel what your car does, quite literally. Your cars can move based on the pips as long as they don't intercede with other cars. If they do, that's a slam. And you have to determine which of those 2 cars is going to respond by traveling in what random direction. Chaos from the start. There's also hazards all over the road that you don't really know what they are until somebody manages to hit one, and then more chaos ensues. How can you die in this game? Your car can take damage. Your car can hit a mountain. Your car can go on fire. Your car can leave the board. There's probably another half dozen or so that I'm not even thinking of on this list. There's not a whole lot of logic and strategy to this game unless you really want to dive deep into it and think it through. You don't have to. Roll some dice, move your cars, enjoy what comes out of it. That's Thunder Road Vendetta. Now, witness me.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, so let me start off by saying Thunder Road has most of what I hate in board games. It is a lot of die rolling, like a lot, with very little mitigation.
A little bit of randomness.
A lot of random.
And I mean, when you break it down to it, it is a roll and move, which is normally a abysmal sin to a craft board gamer.
Yeah.
On top of that, it has player elimination, and you cannot win the game until at least one player is eliminated, which I think makes the player elimination a little more palpable in this.
Which is probably why it's best at 4, because then the game only is endable with 3 players.
The thing that... The only reason I would disagree that it's best at 4, I think it's better the more chaotic it is. And at 5 players, like, you can't make your second movement.
Max
you're probably going to
chaos.
have to hit a car.
It's like you're slamming all over the place.
Yeah. So I want more chaos. If I'm playing this, I want more chaos. I want all the chaos. I do want to note that we threw in, because we were playing the Maximum Chrome edition, we did throw in a few things outside of the base game. We had a few extra road tiles that were from an expansion. We played with crew leaders, which give you some variable powers, and we also played with the chop shop upgrades on our car, which means we started the game by drafting 4 cards. We started the game by drafting 4 cards, And once we had our pool of cards, we were able to give each one of our 3 cars a special power that no other car had, which it made it more chaotic, gave some customization to our crew, and in my opinion, just bumps a fun game up to even more fun.
If I recall, I played Road Vendetta with you when you got just the base game, and that was fun in itself. Like it was chaos. It was nuts. It was, wow, I can't believe what's going to happen on this turn. Oh, my strategy is out the window. As you have expanded your collection and refined it, the game just keeps getting better. I like every element that you have added to the game.
Yeah, that's my first time playing with the crew leaders, so the variable player powers, and with the car upgrades. And that was so much fun.
It really is.
It adds so many extra variables.
And it means that you have to look and think about when you take that shot or you're about to make a slam, you really need to peek at the car that you're going to interact with, because it may affect what you are trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just added that extra customization, made it that much more enjoyable. And yeah, you cannot go into this game, or you can go in trying with it, play with the strategy, but it's more fun just to go for the chaos. I mean, just let, this slam leads to that slam, leads to this car getting launched, and just now it's on fire, and now it lands on top of a helicopter and gets destroyed, and it's awesome.
The racetrack is always variable. You always have the same starting block.
One of two starting tiles.
But then you're playing on a board of 3 tiles. And then once you surpass that third tile, it rotates out the first tile and you add a new one on top. There's all sorts of chaos every time. Well, one, if there are any cars left on that first tile as it's going away, they're out of the game. They're done. But you never really know what's coming on the next tile, and it's fantastic.
Oh, my word. I think this was the first time I've had a car eliminated that way, and it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I raced out to the front early on.
So fast. Fast.
They tried their best, but no one was able to get that car out of commission. And so I eventually made it to the end of the current available roads and drove off the end tile, which triggers the first tile to be removed. And I took out 3 cars.
Yeah, one of each of us, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he got the royal sampler on us.
Yeah, that was the most successful elimination I've seen.
Also, great strategy. I always say Thunder Road, when I'm introducing it to a new group, I always say Thunder Road is the game of no strategy and high chaos. I think there is some strategy, and James putting his small vehicle out front was a great idea, because the smaller vehicles, when you slam, the smaller vehicles are not so good in a slam. The larger vehicle that slams with it can ask for a reroll if they're unhappy with the result. But small cars are harder to hit with your guns.
Yeah.
And regardless of how many times we sent our chopper out for airstrikes on James' small car that was in the lead, it just wasn't hitting. The dive rolls were not coming up the way we needed them to, and it helped him get to the front of the pack and stay there.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that did help me with that is we were also playing with, what were the tokens? Not challenge.
The command tokens.
And that's an extra thing that's not normally in the base game. My crew leader started with 3 of them. And normally, on your player board, you have 4 extra things you can do to modify your turn. So you can go faster, you can heal yourself, you can bring out your chopper, or you can avoid the first collision that you would normally hit. And normally you can only do 1 of those per round of play. You have to assign a die to it. These extra tokens allow you to do some of those extra times. So I was able to heal that small car more times than you might normally with those tokens.
I was so annoyed with you, James, because I built my whole roster of cars based around speed. The what do they call the operators?
The crew leaders.
The crew leaders. I had a crew leader that basically allowed me to take any dice with 6 pips and count it as 7. And one of her other powers was I could assign either a 4 or 5 to her board and change all of my remaining die to either 4s or 5s. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to be out ahead of everybody. And that's the way I drafted my upgrades to the cars. So my goal was built for speed, get out ahead of the pack, and I've got this game. And what did not occur in this game? I did not get out ahead of the pack. And at that point, my defensive measures were not great.
Yeah, and I've tried that strategy before in previous plays, jump out ahead and try and race it. But all it does is take all the attention onto you.
You're a target.
And people send their choppers after you. And usually that does the trick. Being able to, I said heal, repair more often was definitely the linchpin for that strategy working this time.
The choppers are a good balancing mechanic for players who really shoot out ahead, and you spend a lot of the game with several spaces ahead of the second place car. So kudos to you, sir. Emily, you've taken more than a couple of trips down the ye old Thunder Road with me. What did you think of this play?
Oh my word. This play, we definitely kind of put a time constraint on ourselves, so I think this play was more emotionally hectic than normal. Chaos. Yeah, this was my first time with some of the expansions, like the cards and the crew leaders, and that was kind of nice because I got a special power that if I had the car that I was shooting at a target, if I had another car that was adjacent to that target, it automatically hit.
Like you're spotting the car. You're like, he's right there. You don't even have to roll for this. Just go ahead and shoot him. I see him. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
And so that helped the randomness mitigation. I had a hard time being able to get two cars touching a single car because it's like, oh, someone would move their car right as I was getting into position. Or it's like I have a ton of hazards that I'd rather not drive through. And I felt like I avoided a lot of slams this time. This was kind of light on the slams from what I remember. But we also had some rolls where it was like, oh, this is going to be horrible. This is going to be brutal. And then the one option that gets a clean getaway gets rolled. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so we had that a couple of times in this play, which is interesting.
I think this game, this play of this game, I saw the least amount of road hazards hit.
Yeah, I don't feel like we saw
we
a lot
dodged
of
them all. So.
James also hit like 7 of them immediately when he was dashing out.
Hit 2 of them.
Okay, yeah. But it was like oil slick, flames, we had, and then 2 hazards ended up just being roads.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
true.
So because I had another special power where if I could assign a 3 or lower to my small car, I could just drive through the hazard without revealing it. But I never got to a point where I could drive over a face down hazard because they were all revealed, or I would land on it, which was bad for me. But yeah.
Now that said, the 2 hazards we did reveal, the oil slick and the fireball, the grouping of cars in that area did not move forever. We were just back and forth slamming each other and moving them back a spot or to the left a spot. It took forever to like,
which is also
declutter that section of the
how
board.
James was able to eliminate 3 of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all got. I was stuck back there as well, but I was able to, right before the turn where I finished off that track, I moved 1 space to get me over that hump of moving on to the second tile, and I knew, I was like, oh, this is my opportunity.
So I've gotten to a point where Thunder Road stays in my game bag to take to our events, and I have had the chance to play it with dozens of people. And one of the most amazing things about this is I've never had anyone play it and be like, no, this isn't for me. And in fact, when I bring it out on future events, people come back to play it again. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people are disappointed if they don't get in a game. We usually max out at 5 players at our events because people are wanting to play this, wanting to replay it. It's pretty easy to learn. It's maybe a 10-minute teach. There's not really a lot to it. Some of the rules can be finicky, if you really have to drill down on certain aspects of it. But those are more like you can say it in the moment and not really affect the gameplay very much.
It is helpful having someone like you run the game where you've played it so much where you just internalized all of the little offshoot things that you would normally have to reference a rule book for or go search BGG for. You just know all that stuff.
I've read a lot. I've read a lot of BGG forums, and I keep the FAQ as a shortcut on my phone just in case I need to go back to it. And sometimes I'll just sit down. I'll have a few minutes. I'll just read over it to make sure that everything I think I know about the game is correct.
Dwayne is also currently writing a Thunder Road Vendetta fan fiction.
Yes, it is. It is actually Downton Abbey meets Thunder Road.
Their obsession meets. Anyway,
it's not a slam; it's a broken crumpet.
Wow, this game is such a crowd pleaser. It's like I play this game for the experience, not for the win. Unless I'm playing it for the podcast, that I'm trying to go for runner up. But it's just so fun. Like it's the chaos. Like it's one of the few. There's several games, but it's one of the few board games where I just enjoy playing it for the experience and not necessarily the outcome.
I don't care if I win.
Yeah.
I do care if
Road.
I'm the first eliminated, but at the same time, I'm like, it happens. It's so hard to control that.
Yeah, I'd say if I had any negatives, it could be the player elimination. You kind of, especially if you're in a 5-player game, once that it ends when 2 people have fully.
The end of the road will show up at the end of the board. So the goal will show up at the end of the current 3rd board after the first player is eliminated from the game. And a player is eliminated if all of their vehicles are eliminated or inoperable.
And then once it's been displayed, somebody can pass the finish line, get to the end,
And that's it.
Yeah.
or any other way for the game to end, or is that it?
Sometimes it is last man standing, very rarely, but you do get into weird things where someone will shoot off the board and take out a whole slew of people at once and make that a possibility.
So if you're the first person out, it can be a while for the game to end. But if you're playing in a event like ours, you can go to another table and get into another game. More likely, you're going to sit there and watch how the chaos ensues. But that can happen, and depending on what's going on, it can be a while. If you're playing a 5-player game, if there's a lot of chaos happening and multiple combo slams going on, it can be a little while until it gets back to your turn. But I don't have a lot of negatives. You just have to go into it wanting fun.
Yeah.
If you go into it wanting fun, you'll be good.
If I have a negative on this, I mean, I'm a little bit of a chaos monkey in my games anyway. You guys are all very good at thinking depth of strategy and thinking several turns ahead. I'm more of the, hey, let's do this and see what happens. And that plays well into this game because it's just sheer chaos. I have played this with people that are very thinky and really want to analyze the game and figure out depth of strategy. And
there's no room for that here.
it bogs it down. I'm just like, it's a chaos game. Let's go. Move on.
Yep.
I have really played around with the idea of having a 30-second timer, like from the moment moment it's your turn. Because and one of the designers even says like that he doesn't allow backsies, like it's driving rules. Once you start to move a car, that car has moved. And I think putting a 30-second on the timer, a 30-second timer on your decision-making process just leans into that, right? You're driving a car, you don't have a lot of time to think about, oh, if I go 4 spaces this way, no, you should.
There's a rock in front of you. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought this to the table, Dwayne. It's so good. I can see why it's so popular. If you end up loving it, you're going to want the Maximum Chrome edition with all the upgrades.
Gosh,
it's
so
it doesn't
fun.
even compare to the retail edition.
And even though the Maximum Chrome edition did come with like game trays originally, Folded Space made some of their printed inserts, and it has cut down the setup time of the game significantly for me. I highly recommend that if you are a fan of the game and have the Maximum Chrome edition.
Yeah, it's really nice, the setup you have, because I feel like that can be kind of like a barrier of space and the amount of bits.
Yeah, it's a bit of a table hog. JK, how are you feeling about this? Are you going to keep it to play or trade it away?
So I've happily kind of let other people in our group own this and just been playing on their copies. While we were playing ours, I went on Amazon and added it to my wish list.
There we go.
It's awfully pricey, so I don't know if this is going to be on there, a purchase of mine anytime soon. But yeah, it has officially made the keep it to play list for me.
Yeah, definitely keep it to play for me. I've come this close. You can't see my fingers, but I'm doing two fingers really
very
close together
right now.
to buying the Maximum Chrome before edition because it's just so good. Knowing you have it, it's part of the reason probably why I haven't, because you have all the things and it's always at the events, and that's part of being nice about being in a group. But I would like to have it in the collection and just definitely keep it to play. There's nothing else out there quite like it that provides this kind of experience, and Restoration Games really knocked it out of the park with this.
Home run.
Yeah, it's a keep it to play. I'm not going to buy it. Dwayne has it, but it's a keep it to play. I love it.
All right, so how'd the game turn out, everybody?
4 out of 4 on the Glee meter, and
thank you, JK. Yes, 4 out of 4.
My brilliant strategy of get little fast cars that can take a lot of beating and move ahead as quick as I can. I was the first eliminated from the game.
But that strategy worked great for me.
Yeah, thanks.
Because I ended up getting to the finish line before anybody else. so I triggered the end of the game.
That gives James the win. And Emily realized as we were setting up the game, she's like, how are we going to decide second place in this game? Because there's not really positions. There's not points in the game. So we decided it would be whoever was the second closest to the finish line when someone won the game. And Emily, we were neck and neck there at the end. We were really vying. We knew we didn't have a chance for first. We were vying for second so we could have that sweet, sweet game pick. And
this is the second game in a row that I've left so violently angry. I had a chance to airstrike James down, the car that he had in the lead, and I opted not to try to weaken Dwayne to see if I could get a better second position. And James thanked me by making sure I could not get second place.
Is that what I did? I don't know. That's right.
So with me pulling second place 2 times in a row, that means it is my choice again. Y'all, I know some of our games we have a little more breathing room to play. We can take things at a slower pace. That was not Thunder Road, but it is going to be our next game of the show, which is Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Oh yes,
Are we
so
going to be
excited.
playing the Colossal Edition?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, that seems to be the most
Of course
fun.
we are.
For those of you who are not familiar, the Colossal Edition, just like the regular edition, but bigger for no reason except
No
it
good
looks
reason.
fantastic on a table. Speaking of future games of the show, is there a game you'd like us to play? Have any thoughts on Castles of Mad King Ludwig, Thunder Road, or any other game we've discussed on this episode? Shoot us an email for a chance to have your comments read on a future episode. That address again is pod@gleefulmeeple.com.
So I think we've talked about games enough that it's time to play a game on air. No, not a board game, a game about board games. This week, Dwayne has brought us a game to play.
All right, everyone. This is a game that has some distinct similarities to a game you might have played before. I call this game Board Games and Gambling. Okay? So here's the idea. It is a trivia-based game, but all the trivia questions can be answered with numbers. So that means I have to have an answer from each of you. I'm going to start by handing out some whiteboards for you to write on. And let's get things kicked off. We'll just kind of, I'll kind of introduce you to how this is going to work as we go along. So the first step is I just need you all to write a numerical answer to this question without the other players seeing your answer. You can just, once you have your answer down, you can just flip those face down on the table so I know that you are locked in. The first question, according to its Board Game Geek page, how many expansions does Carcassonne have as of today?
Oh.
How many expansions does Carcassonne have as of today? I'm going to wait for everybody. Oh, answers are coming in a lot quicker than I thought. And on the table, I have a couple of spaces in front of me. So I'm going to get those prepared as James gets his answer finalized. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have everyone flip over their answer and read it aloud, please.
Question.
Yes.
Is this going to be kind of like Price is Right, or is this just right or wrong?
It's going to be Price is Right rules. Yes, you
I'm
want to
gonna
go
read-
lowest without going over. You are closest without going over is what I was trying to say. Closest
Okay,
without going over.
I changed my answer.
Okay, that's fine. It looks like everybody did. I hope somebody put $1. All right, let's start with JK. JK, what did you say?
I said 11.
11. JK thinks that there are 11 expansions for Carcassonne. And
I said 5.
5.
I said
and
5.
5. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. We actually had 2 people say 5. So your choices at this point are 5 or 11. I'm going to give each of you some, oddly enough, some Thunder Road Vendetta tokens. This big guy is worth $200. This guy is worth $100. Emily, there's some for you. And JK, here's some for you. You may put these on any space you want to, hoping that you get the answer that is closest without going over. All right?
I can put both of them?
You can put, you could split them up, or if you really think someone's nailed it, you can put $300 all on the same space. The way the board is right now, If 11 is right, it's going to pay out at 2-1, but 5 is also going to pay out at 2-1 since we doubled up. So everybody can just throw their tokens out on the board where they would like to. So JK has doubled down. He has put all of his on 11. James has put all of his on 5, and Emily has put all of hers. Nope, Emily has split the vote. Emily has one. Her small bet is on 5, and her large bet is on 11. Y'all are going to be really surprised by this. There are 190 expansions for Carcassonne. Now, keep in mind that does mean if
that
they
include, like,
release
promo
3 small
tiles?
expansions and then put those all together into another expansion, Board Game Geek does count those as separate expansions. So 190 expansions. What that means,
Oh my
JK,
gosh.
you had the answer right. And since it's the first round, you will receive $100 for getting the correct answer. In addition, you bid $300 at 2-1, you will get an additional $600 in your player color.
Look at me.
Emily, you bid 2-1 on the 11, so you will get $400 on yours. James, unfortunately, you will not get anything for this round, but that's okay because the next round is coming up right now. I'm going to give everyone
can't
their
wait.
tokens back. Everybody kind of get the idea of the game?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. I'm going to hand those to you, and I'm going to get the next question ready. The second question is, according to sleeveyourgame.com, how many sleeves are needed to sleeve Dice Throne Season 1?
And-
How many sleeves would you need to sleeve Dice Throne Season 1? Rerolled. There's some counting going on. I love it already. The person who actually gets the right answer, since it's the second round of the game, will earn $200 this time, along with whatever they may win for their wagers. Oh my goodness, there is actually finger math happening now.
Just trying
All
to
right.
keep track.
I've got some answers locked in.
Okay.
And now it seems I have all answers locked in. Let's start with James. James, you said 160. Thank you. Emily, you said
110.
110. And JK said
425.
425. All right, so I'm going to line
What
those
am I
up.
not thinking of?
And please
can
go
just leave my
ahead
large
and
car there.
You can throw your wagers, your gambling tokens
no.
down on whichever numbers you would like. JK has gone all in on 425.
I was like, whatever JK put, that's where I want my two bids.
James is thinking things through.
What am I forgetting? Are the decks that... I thought they were smaller than that.
Emily has also gone all in. All right, James is thinking. Does JK really know this?
I mean, he knows Dice Throne.
Because he ran a whole tournament that lasted like 9 months last year.
Smaller than that, but I might be completely wrong.
I was completely wrong.
Or I could be wrong. If I sucker you guys in to vote for me and I'm wrong, you're not making any money and I've still got the lead. Here's the metagame coming into play.
I don't think you
I think
do
you
that.
think you're right, but I'm still gonna.
All right, James has split his.
Trade it up.
James has actually split his gambling tokens. He's going heavy on 160. The correct answer is 256, which means James
JK.
answering 160 will get the bonus for this round, and he will also earn $200 in his player color. There you go. Some nice Marge poker chips for your bet, sir.
What was the actual answer?
The actual answer was
something.
256. This game is
Okay.
made out of the pieces of a lot of other games.
I had the deck count wrong, I think.
All right, I'm giving things back. There you go.
I
There
think
you
it's
go.
30 card decks.
Is it 30?
Yeah.
I did 20 card
All right.
decks.
I went 50.
Question,
How many?
I did 20.
6?
Times 8.
There's 8.
Oh, I was doing times 6.
Question 3. This one will be worth $300 for the person who gets the answer closest without going over. According to Kickstarter.com, how much in millions was pledged for the original Exploding Kittens campaign?
Oh, man.
One of the most successful, or I believe the most successful board game Kickstarter.
No, I think Frosthaven has it beat.
Okay.
Yeah. But it held the title until
It
Frosthaven.
held it for so long.
Yeah.
Frosthaven, what have you done? Okay, we got some answers coming in. Let's start with Emily this time. James is still writing. I'll give him... Oh, there we go. Emily, what did you say?
I said 5 mil.
Emily said 5 million. JK?
3.8.
3.8 million on the low side right now until James comes in with 8 million. All right, so that all looks good. Those are ordered correctly. You may go ahead and place your gambling tokens now.
I would like my large bid on mine and my small bid on the lowest one. Yeah, exactly what JK did.
Yep. Okay. So Emily is splitting between 3.8 and 5 million. JK did the same. James is going small on 8 million and large on 5 million. The answer we were looking for in this case, $8.8 million. James is going to take the round bonus of $300. He will also pay out $200 for bidding on the correct answer. That comes in your player color. Thank you, sir. All right. This is the final round, everybody. And this one's going to be just slightly different. For this round, your bidding tokens still count in their original amounts, $100 and $200. You may also place any amount of any of your chips under your tokens as additional wagers. So still 2 wagers total, but you may wager up to however many of your currently earned chips that you would like to. And here is your last question in board games and gambling. How many possible combinations of murder, weapon, and location are possible in a traditional clue game? How many combinations of murderer, weapon, and location are possible in a traditional clue game?
Tapping into my childhood subconscious.
Okay, numbers are being written down. Some math is being done. All right. We are 2 of 3.
I'm so bad at math.
I'm really hoping Emily takes this because she's putting in the work, y'all. Okay. Well, I guess
out devices,
calculators are coming out. As long as no Google comes up, I guess that's fine.
I feel like I should change mine after all that math's being done. I feel like I'm...
Oh my God, I really hope she writes 1 after all of this. All right, there are numbers on boards. Let's start with JK again. JK, what you got? JK said
529.
529. James?
45.
45. Emily?
275.
275. All right. Remember, you may bid as much as you would like to. Just pop your gambling token on top of your bid to help me identify who's going where. So
JK
is all in on 529. All right. 529 paying off 2-1 if that is indeed the correct answer.
I'm going to put my...
There will also be 4 tokens for the person who got the answer, who wrote the
on
correct
the
answer.
Middle one.
All right. Emily is doing 200 on 275.
And on the largest
then going
one.
with a big bet on 529. James, you're the last one to place your wagers.
Yep. We're going to go... My big one. We're going to do this...
Uh-oh.
All right, James putting about $500 on 275. 275, if it is correct, is going to pay 1-1 here. James putting out some other bets, kind of covering some ground, also saving some money, putting some money in reserves. That might help him out because the correct answer, and I should know the math to get there, but I don't. 324.
I should have trusted myself.
324. So it looks like Emily is going to get $200 more.
I got the bonus.
And then James is going to get $400 in his player color, plus the $400 for the round bonus. JK has wiped himself out.
Much like Thunder Road Vendetta.
Emily, how much money did I leave you with?
This?
Yes.
$200?
$200. And James is winning the game with
a handful of tokens.
5, maybe 1,000. Did we break 1,000?
Are these hundreds? What are
those
these?
are hundreds, just for fun.
Does he get those back too?
Oh, sure. Yeah, why not? You can have those back
7,
too.
8. What are these?
All hundreds.
Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15. Wow. Way to go, James. Everybody, that was Board Games and Gambling. Thank you so much for playing.
This is why I don't gamble.
Maybe I should gamble.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap us up for today.
They're calling the cops,
We
man.
did it.
Yep. We first want to thank our sponsor for today, Duff Beer. When you are visiting Springfield, come see Duff Gardens, one of the greatest theme parks on the planet. If you can't go there, hit up the brewery and try a Duff Light, or a Duff Dry. That is Duff Beer. Can't get enough of that wonderful Duff.
I'm very surprised this one hasn't come up sooner.
I had to wait for the right episode. I thought
Okay.
of Thunder Road Vendetta was a great parody.
There you
for
go.
it.
Yeah.
So,
It's all coming up, Dwayne.
And if you're visiting Universal Studios, you can actually have Duff Beer there at Moe's Tavern.
that's going to do it for us tonight. You can email us at pod@gleefulmeeple.com or hit us up on Instagram at gleefulmeeplepod. Again, Gleeples, we are looking for your responses for what is your Pantheon board game. Please let us know, and we will wrap up in a future episode. For now, thanks for listening. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Gleeples.